It is Wellness Wednesday, and one health issue making worldwide headlines is, of course, the coronavirus. And with 15 cases that were quarantined in San Antonio, it's a little too close for comfort for a lot of us. Before you get worked up, let's get the latest facts on how we sit here in Houston. Dr. Umar Shah is with the Harris County Public Health Department, and also joining us for the rest of our hot topics, we have Dr. Jim Weiss, who is a physical medicine and rehabilitation specialist, and Dr. James Manning, who is a dentist. All right, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, Dr. Shaw, when it was over there, we were all like, oh, this is serious business. And then it came to the United States, and then we had those folks who were quarantined in San Antonio, and one got out. That scares a lot of us.
Well, and I think, thanks, Deborah, for having me on this morning. And I would say that I think a lot of this is really, we've seen so many images, so many videos and depictions of what's happening and happened in Wuhan, in China, and in Asia, and then slowly started to see this move across different countries, obviously Hong Kong and Japan and South Korea and Iran and Italy, and you start to see pop-up cases in other countries. And then we saw the first case in the United States, and then you had another case, and they were, it's a big country, a lot of cases.
And what scares a lot of people, we can't see it. We don't know where it is.
It's a virus.
You got to track it, yeah.
Viruses are right? And that's what public health departments do across the country, is that we track these kinds of things. The challenge that we've had is the fact that when you started to see over this past weekend some additional cases in Seattle, that's when I think it really got people's attention.
In Seattle.
That
yes.
is absolutely right.
All right, and we see it affect the stock market. You can't turn on the TV without seeing some news about it. And when you see them walking down spraying streets and the whole bit, yet we're told not to panic. It's hard not to panic when you see those types of images, but put it into perspective for us.
So I think the perspective first is that right now in our community, what we really need to continue to be concerned about is influenza, seasonal flu. Every day, all the different things that all of us do every day to make sure we wash our hands, cover our cough. Yeah. And most importantly, isolate yourself. Don't go to work and school and send your kid to school or go to the rodeo if you're sick.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that we
protect
others.
And you say influenza, and put it, and that's part of putting it in perspective, is that when you say, oh, there's a flu outbreak, a lot of people go, the flu. Okay, we're used to that, right? But when you compare it to corona right now, really the flu is still the bigger, badder bear, if you will.
It is, and obviously the concern is that this is a new virus. It's an evolving virus, right? It made a jump from animals to humans, so there was some change, some mutation in that virus. And so whenever you have something new, there is concern. So we want people to be prepared. We want them to be protected. We want them to know that government, our county, our city, all of our regional partners, that we're working and doing all the things we have to do with our healthcare system to be prepared. But we want people to take the steps that they can do also to protect themselves.
2 to 3% in terms of death rate. There are a lot of other things that have a higher death rate.
There are, and flu, it is more than seasonal flu, but I think what we have to just keep in mind is that, again, those numbers change over time. So right now, do all those things that you can do, even if, and we've moved because of Seattle into not an if scenario, but even this is going to move to a when scenario, that when we have cases throughout or in other parts of the United States, including here in Texas, including locally, you are already doing those things.
Yeah, all right. What are you doing differently with your family that you weren't necessarily doing before this?
I think one thing is we're talking about it. So I think talk about it. Yeah. And this is like with hurricanes, right? Everybody would see all the big
images,
red, the images, and then there was a constant deluge of that. So at times, take a break from that. We don't want people to just be watching novel coronavirus. 5 seconds of every 5 seconds is that's all they're looking at. Every hour is every hour. Every day is every. We want people to take some breaks, but we also, my wife, she's gotten some vitamins for the kids. She's saying make sure you get sleep. She's reminding them of the fist. Here you go.
Yeah, fist bump. I'm not even doing fist bump. I'm just going like this.
This.
Hey, how are you? Hey, over there. Just do a little wave like this, right? That's all you get.
So
right
we
there.
have to change our behaviors towards this.
Yeah. And Dr. Weiss, I know one of the things that you have always supported was make yourself the healthiest you first.
Absolutely.
And then that gives your body a better chance, even if you got something, that you weather that storm a lot better. There's a lot of talk about the gut microbiome.
Yeah. So getting back to the first topic, 2 to 3% is still higher than the normal rate, so we have to be a little bit concerned. The microbiome is an amazing system that we're talking about right now. It lines the gut, all the microbes line the gut, and you want to have a strong immune system. So if you're lining the gut and you get leaky gut, there's a crash to the lining. You can develop a leaky gut syndrome, which can cause allergies, immunity problems, arthritis, and then stem cells we're going to talk about later,
Yeah.
what the results are. So it's really important to do three main things, especially I'm a rehab disability doctor. One, work on your nutrition. Make sure that you're eating veggies, fresh veggies, no processed food, no antibiotics, fermented foods, and meditation. All these things improve the microbiome.
Yeah.
So it's really important to take
Yeah.
care of yourself, and I think that would help with the coronavirus
And we
as well.
know that all that stuff also helps with mouth health, and then even things like smoking or even vaping. So we're looking at vaping is like relatively new, right?
Yes.
But we're seeing how vaping does a lot of things. For example, one thing, it could lead to cavities.
It does, because part of the ingredients that are in vaping, most of these cartridges and capsules, in a sense, they're innocuous by themselves. But once you actually put them together, and when you're blowing the vapor out and things like that, it leaves your mouth dry. And dry mouth is one of the leading causes of cavities and to some extent some gum diseases as well.
Yeah.
So you are increasing the bacterial load in your mouth, which connected to the gut and everywhere else, basically. If you remember with colds, with any of that stuff, you touch your mouth, you touch a doorknob, well, there goes the rest of your family getting sick.
Wash
So
your dirty
wash your
hands.
hands. That's
Over
right.
and over
That's
again.
right.
As my
Wash your
sister
hands,
said, I'm a germaphobe, and she said the day of the germaphobe is here. That's my time.
You're in, you're in now.
It's okay. I didn't used to like to shake hands. Now I'm cool.
Remember, we do it like this. Everybody, let's shake hands the new way.
In the
Right here.
air.
Everybody
That's
try
right.
it. Everybody try
I
it.
used
Yeah.
to shake hands with my patients, and now I don't, and they understand. Before they go, "What's wrong with that?"
What's wrong with
Yeah, right.
They want to shake my hand.
Right? All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. I just want to round out with, again, don't panic, but do the things that you know make sense. If you God forbid, do get the coronavirus, what we have access to in this country, at least, is healthcare. We saw that a lot of people who passed early on didn't even have access to a local hospital.
This is potentially serious, but at the same time, there are some very practical things you can do every day. I know it's on our website, hcphtx.org. You've got information on your website. We want to make sure that our public remembers that. And we're going to do everything we can to get through our any situation for our community successfully.
All right, and like my Chinese friends say, there's a reason why we bow. Thank you. Right, okay.